On our morning show today from WRCO, Brandon Federley, middle and high school principal for Ithaca Schools, is in the house. It seemed like we were just talking about getting out. Now you're getting back in.
It's a great day to be a Bulldog. I can't believe the summer is almost gone. I see hay being baled and stuff being put up, so that means it's just about time.
Yeah, you're getting ready. And when does the staff report?
So new staff reports next Thursday, and then all staff report the Monday following. So the 25th, we're going to have a building full of people getting ready to have students the following week.
What about online registration? Because that's currently going on, isn't it?
So online registration is about to start. We're going to get rid of paper. That's so 20th century, and we're going to move into being able to get families registered online. So for any Ithaca families out there that are listening, you're going to receive an informational email on Monday, August 18th with all of the details on how to register. And if you need assistance, or if you don't have good enough bandwidth with online access where you live, feel free to come to Open House, which is August the 27th from 4 to 6, and we'll have stations set up so you can do all of your online paperwork there. And we'll even have staff available to help you walk through the process if you need some assistance.
Is the open house similar to what it's been? I mean, students can go and see their classrooms and get books and those kind of things, or how does it work?
Absolutely. So we're going to have the entire building open. Teachers are going to be present, so students and families can come in, meet teachers if they'd like, scope out where their locker is going to be. I've heard a lot of questions about whether lockers are going to move or not, and I'm going to let that one be a surprise for the kids. Look at where their locker is going to be, meet their teachers. Some teachers will be giving out materials, but not all teachers will be giving out materials. We will have the wraparound care room open so that families can see the 4K families that are present half day will be able to go and see what the wraparound care room looks like, look at the access for that room. And so it's going to be a building full of activity that evening. And if there's community members that want to see what Ithaca schools are up to, if there's a family that's looking to open enroll, by all means, come on down and see what we're all about.
Will you get bus schedules? How does that work, and when does that come out?
So Rick Manning is our Director of Transportation, and he's working on bus schedules now. We will have those ready in short order because we want families to be ready. The idea now is with things shuffling a little bit, we want to make sure that we have the shortest ride possible for the kids in the morning and the afternoon. So those will be out shortly. They're just not ready yet.
Last time you were here, you brought members of your admin staff. You've got a great staff there at Ithaca, don't you?
Yeah, I drew the short straw today. No, it's a pleasure to be here. And Sarah Dilley is the elementary principal, director of curriculum and instruction. And, she's working at getting materials into the hands of the teachers. Seeing there's more new elementary staff than there are middle and high school staff. So she's working on getting those folks settled. And Dr. Claire Federley, same pronunciation but spelled different. She's working on all of the leadership aspects, thinking budgets. How do we make sure we maximize funds coming in and funds going out so we get things for the students that they need? Looking at how we become the school that we all want Ithaca Schools to be.
Will you have some kids coming in through open enrollment this year?
We always have open enrollment, and we're very thankful to have kids coming in. So if anyone is interested in enrolling in Ithaca Schools, like I said, contact the school, come to open house. We're happy to have you, and don't be afraid to reach out.
The other big news is you're going to be connected with Second Harvest, Brandon.
Yes, so we are going to become a Second Harvest mobile food pantry site. Our first distribution is going to be September the 18th at 4. And so, you've heard about the mobile food pantries in the area. We're moving to Ithaca. We're going to have approximately 125 to 130 family portions available. And the one big constraint is we cannot have folks on property before school is out 3:30, and so distribution has to happen after school is out at 3:30. But there will be an informational message that will come out regarding Second Harvest Mobile Food Pantry coming. We'd like to have people come be part of the school, and this is a way that the school can give back and show that we care about the families of Ithaca. The important things, so we've already done notice to the school board. School district staff and families are going to be notified. There will be text messages, reminders that are going to be sent out on August the 18th and August the 21st. And we're going to have plenty of signage out at the school to direct folks to come in the south entrance on 58. So if there are any families that pick up, it's similar to that. They're going to come in on that entrance, and then we're going to route them out so that they get the supplies they need without disrupting our end-of-day activities.
Okay, so they would run up like as if they were picking up a student. They would come up through past the baseball field and up to the school.
Right. So they would run up as they were picking up a student, and then the mobile guests would then exit out the church driveway, the one that is just north of Willow Valley Church, which works similar to how pickup goes, but pickup ends up going further towards the school.
Right.
So folks that are picking up students drive a little bit further north to the school and then exit out the driveway a little bit further north.
Do you have to be a resident of the Ithaca District to take advantage of the mobile food pantry?
No, not at all. So this is something that meets the needs of everyone in the area. You don't have to have a student in Ithaca. You don't need to be a resident of the district. What we're really looking at is serving those in need. So if you have been served by a food pantry in the past, or if you fall on hard times and you need a little bit of help, by all means, come and get yourself a good, healthy meal.
That's awesome. Great thing to talk about to start the school year. And again, you have your open house. You have lots of activities that are underway, Brandon?
Well, lots of activities. Football is underway. Practice is ongoing. Volleyball and cross country, the first day of contact is the 18th. So that will be Monday. So we're going to have kids back exercising, getting ready for the season. The first home game is August the 22nd, I believe. That Friday night for the football team. Volleyball doesn't start until a little bit after that. Buzz is already happening. Kids are football players have gotten their equipment. Volleyball players are going to be coming in and getting their equipment on Monday. I was present at the first football practice to show that we're behind our students, and I'm going to say student athletes excel in the classroom, excel on the field. I'll be there for the first cross-country practice and volleyball practice to give them the same information and say, we're behind them. We want to see them be successful, not only on the court and on the field, but also in the classroom.
Because at Ithaca, on a school your size, it takes lots of kids. They have to be involved in many things, don't they?
One of the greatest things about Ithaca, I said this the last time, it's hard to hide. One of the worst things about Ithaca is it's hard to hide. And so, we see the volleyball players and the football players are also showing their animals at the county fair, are also involved in FBLA, are also involved in forensics, are also in the band, are also singing in the choir. And so they have the opportunity to do everything. They also sometimes take the opportunity to do everything. But where else can you say that you've done it all?
Very true, and I think it's never more obvious than it is at your school fair and homecoming, which starts fairly early in the school year. But it's always comical to see how many times you see a particular student in the parade.
Well, my job in the parade is preventing kids from jumping off the floats as they're moving so that they run back to the beginning of the parade and get on the next float. So I'm full aware of the number of kids that get off and are involved in multiple things. That's a great thing to see. to see the classes go through or to see the teams go through, and then to see the kids jump off and, all right, Mr. Federley, we're good to go. Yeah, and they're running back to the beginning of the parade. To see the number of families that show up, to see the number of community members that show up, and they're wearing their purple. They're looking at the stories I've received about back when I was in the old gym, and the pride and the joy that they talk about those stories with, or grandparents, great-grandparents that are coming to see people that mean a lot to them. So Bulldog pride runs very deep, and it's a great thing to see.
Ithaca is one of, there are several schools in the area that have this, but where you walk down the hall and you see the pictures of the graduated classes and the students pointing out, oh, there's mom and dad, there's grandma and grandpa, there's great-grandma and grandpa.
I get that a lot. The seniors will point out, oh, look at my dad's haircut, or things like that. And there was an instance this past week where I had to point out, when I had hair, it looked like that too, because one of the kids' father was my age. Seeing things like, the quintessential Ithaca story, Peg Durkin's grandmother in the library up on that picture with the new school. Right, that new original school, the family names that keep rolling through in classes, the fact that we have so many Ithaca alumni that are staff in the school. I'm going to say a name that makes you smile: James Nee, right down in the shop. Heather Deidelhoff, that's in the consumer and family sciences room. That's something that it's impossible to compare. And I could go on and repeat a number of names, but I'm not going to, just for the simple sake that I don't want to forget anyone. And Bulldog pride runs deep.
I know that this is kind of a sad subject, the closing of the Richland campus, because I know it was near and dear to you, and you worked there. But I think area schools have been able to use some of the equipment there, and I think Ithaca was one that took advantage of that a little bit too, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Actually, we picked up a few more items this week. I know Ithaca was able to take advantage of science equipment from the science lab and band equipment from the music room, tables from the library, things that have been such a blessing to us, because if we were to go out and purchase them new, we could never be able to afford them. And we're not the only ones. Ithaca and Richland Center being wholly contained in Richland County, but Weston has also taken advantage. And I do want to say on the air, I'm very thankful to County Board Chair Dave Turk, County Administrator Tricia Clements, for their willingness to be so generous with the items that will go on to serve taxpayers just in a different way. And Carrie Severson, the County Board representative for Ithaca School District, has been very helpful in facilitating, helping us to get equipment, get items that will keep the best and brightest in Ithaca and help them to achieve.
Yeah, I thought that was a great positive, because, it's going to go on to help students in their learning, whether it's a band instrument or a science table or whatever it might be.
The ability for us to get a piccolo. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of surprised in how expensive a piccolo was, because the case is, maybe
pretty small.
1.5 times my cell phone. That is something that we'd never be able to have. The furniture that we were able to get into our library, the science equipment, the balances, the things that Melissa Sprecher was able to use in her ag classes. That is an expense that was tough for us to manage without this blessing. And I want to say to folks, I'm going to repeat myself. Come on out to open house and take a look at the great things that we were able to get. Take a look at where we're able to use this new furniture, and show some Ithaca pride that we're proud of our school. We want to We want to put our best foot forward so everyone can be proud of Ithaca, not just on the football field, not just on the volleyball court, in the classroom, during a band concert, during a Veterans Day assembly, during graduation. To me, graduation is the best time because that's the payoff for all the hard work during the year. And to see the families hoot and holler, to see grandmas cry, to see kids smile like there's no tomorrow. So come on out, see what we're all about.
A new role for you, Brandon, and will you be kind of missing the classroom, or will you stop by once in a while just to kind of observe?
I will be present. A principal is not designed to sit in an office. Will I miss the classroom? Absolutely. It's in your blood. Teaching is in your blood. But this is a way for me to help be an advocate for students and be an advocate for teachers. Put great people into the classroom and then get out of their way. What I want to do is help get things for the teachers that they need to help teach the students, help get the students in a position so that they can achieve. And if that's having a conversation with students, if that's attending a student council meeting, if that's visiting classes, I'm present because I care.
I know that the halls are kind of quiet right now. Are you looking forward to that first day when it gets kind of chaotic at the start of school?
Absolutely. The halls are eerily quiet except for the scrubbing machines that are going on, putting the final wax on the floor. And that, I miss that din. The noise of kids, the excitement. I'm going to say students put on a front of, I can't believe I'm back in school. But when they settle into things, it's great to see them interact. It's great to ask them how their summer was. It's great to see how, the one that always surprises me is when a kid grows 4 to 6 inches over a summer and you were looking down at the kid in May and then you're looking up at the kid in September. Those are great moments. And to say, I hope you had a great summer. I hope you have a great year. To be able to see some of the things that they're excited about in their class, and to see things like the RISE program, to see the high school students go down to the younger elementary kids and help them read and do crafts. You don't get that in a larger district because those kids aren't in the same building. So those are the things that really warm my heart and make me proud to be a Bulldog.
Well, here's to a good school year.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
We're going to talk about activities coming up with your co-head football coaches as well as that season gets underway. But Brandon, we look forward to having you back and your staff and on a regular basis this school year to talk about all the good things going on at Ithaca.
Thank you for having us.
You bet. Brandon Federley joining us, middle and high school principal at Ithaca on the morning show. On this portion of the morning show from WRCO Radio, we're here to talk about Ithaca schools, and we have the co-head coaches of the Ithaca football team. We have Kyle Kelly and we have David Klang joining us here. For me, it doesn't seem like it's possible there, but unbelievable that you got the season started there, Coach Kelly.
Yeah, it comes real fast, like out of the gate. The summer goes by in a blink of an eye, and then all of a sudden we're on the field.
How have practices gone so far, David?
Been really good. The group has been really enthusiastic, really good team bonding and encouraging. It's really nice to see. It's kind of different than what we've had in the previous years, that how they all build off of each other and have been working really well with each other. When you get season started, lots of times you get the hottest weather of the year. Was that kind of a challenge last week, Sam? A little bit, and that's what we've had in different years. Some years, the first week is super cold and you almost need a sweatshirt, and then the first game is 90 degrees and it really throws it for a curve, and that's kind of like last week is a little bit of everything, but the guys adjusted well, and hopefully we don't have too many more hot days or hot games, because that can be a challenge, especially with low numbers. You have a scrimmage coming up on Friday night there, Coach. What would you like to say about the Lancaster scrimmage then?
Yeah, we'll be at Lancaster. It starts at 5. We're going to play Benton, Scales Mound, and Lancaster. Should be two real teams that'll be good for us to see competition-wise. It'll finally be cool to get to hit somebody that's not on their own team. You practice, you drill, and it's about time we get to play an actual team.
Yeah, that's the key, and you're playing some teams that you won't see during the year, and Lancaster is a good program. It's probably a good thing to face somebody that's going to challenge you.
Yeah, it's good to play good competition to see where you're at, see where you need to improve. So like I said, we're going to play a smaller school and a bigger school, so it's a pretty cool setup, and we're lucky to have that opportunity.
Well, let's talk about upcoming deadlines, and are there some sport meetings coming up, David?
We had our co-op or the code meeting already, and like got all the paperwork in there. But like if anybody wants to join sports, whether it's volleyball that's going to be starting next week or even football still, they can always join, and they just have to fill out paperwork and all that kind of stuff. And kind of just getting the ball rolling in all the fall sports. I know football kind of starts a little bit earlier than everybody else, but cross country will be starting soon, and with volleyball also.
Do you actually have like a code meeting like you used to, or how do those work?
Yeah, it wasn't quite as long as what it used to be. Like, you used to have to like read the whole code and go through every little part, and we've kind of made it more manageable. Get in, kind of get out, know the important parts, and then get all the paperwork in and make sure that everybody has their physicals, their alternate year cards figured out, and the concussion protocols and all that in place. And so they've shortened it up, made it a little bit easier for everybody. And if they couldn't attend that meeting, they can watch we usually tape it, and they can watch that. And so then it counts as attending that code meeting.
Yeah, Coach, it seems like you have kids that will come out as school starts. So unfortunately, you play 2 games before the school year starts, don't you?
Yeah, that's kind of how it's been for the last several years. There's actually been a couple where we've played 3, but that's been typical for a long time, ever since they changed the start date of school to after September 1st.
Are you one that would like to see it change, like maybe start school earlier and get out earlier, or how do you look at it?
Yes, 100%.
Would you? Maybe that's coming up down the line.
Oh, it could be they've talked about it before, but not enough people have talked about it where it's going to go to a vote or anything.
Mm-hmm. Is it different coaching then when the school actually gets in session? Is it easier at that time?
You get into more of a routine, but you're already at the building, so yeah.
When you look at this year, then you're going to be still in the conference, the Scenic Bluffs. Is that correct, David?
Yep, I'm still in the Scenic Bluffs, second year in it, kind of coming. All the same teams are back, all that kind of stuff. So that's nice that we have stability there, that we're not moving around as much and changing different teams in and out.
Is this the last year for Ithaca before you co-op with Weston?
This would be the last year that Ithaca is by themselves, and yeah, next year we'll join up with Weston. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for us. We kind of were talking, we wished it would have happened even this year or earlier, just because of all of the good things that could potentially happen with it. But yeah, it would be the last year that Ithaca's on its own for 11-man.
How are your numbers this year, Kyle?
We have about 23, 24 kids, so hopefully we're able to play some JV games, because that makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Always looking for more numbers, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think every program is. One of these is a small school program, but I think that's across the state and nation for football.
Mm-hmm. Are there some changes from the WIA coming up for the school year?
For football, how you make the playoffs, it's a point system now. So everyone in Division 7 is worth 3.5 points. And then if you play someone in Division 6, they're worth 4. So when we play Bangor, they'll be worth 4 points. Everyone else we play is 3.5. So obviously you want to accumulate as many points as possible to make the playoffs.
You have to win those games to get the points, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That will be different. So then when is the deadline when they start looking at points to see who makes the playoffs then? Or is it that week, or do you know?
I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's that last week, kind of like it has been before, and they'll do that. I'm sure it's kind of tabulated, knowing kind of where everybody's at, just because they're running totals, and you kind of know, like, okay, we're here, we're there, we're kind of in the gray zone, or we're good type of spot. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be that last game, kind of like they've always done it. A lot of times they've shot it out at like 2 a.m. or whatever, like the groupings and things like that. But I would assume it's similar to that.
I think there's more unknowns this year, though, Coach, as you get into the first year of doing it this way, aren't there?
I think it's an innovation that nobody asked for.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true. But it takes away I guess maybe the politics of it and things like that, and the groupings. Maybe they did that earlier when they went to electronic seating, but there was always still some controversies, weren't there?
After last year, how it was seated out throughout, I will say a lot of people probably disagree with the computer.
Well, including Ithaca. I mean, I don't want to complain a little bit, but you had a good enough record where you probably should have at least had a home game, right?
Yeah, we started out at home. The first week we were at home.
Oh, that's
the second
right.
week we were at Johnson Creek.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you should have had 2 games because you were going in unbeaten then at that time.
Yes, we were.
Right. So, but nonetheless, you go with the hand you're dealt.
Yeah.
Right? So, what about the classroom, Kyle? What grade do you teach?
I teach 6 through 12 now.
6 through 12.
Yeah, I'll have 3 high school and 3 middle school classes.
Okay. What subjects?
Social studies.
Social studies. All right. Did you grow up wanting to be a social studies teacher?
That was my favorite subject in school, so yeah.
Okay. You're a history guy.
Yeah.
What kind of history?
Civics and law.
Civics and law. Okay.
Yeah, we started last year a new class called street law, and it's all the basic laws a person might interact with, from criminal law, civil law, and then constitutional law, which is essentially just your basic rights, but how they are on a day-to-day basis, like what truly is your freedom of speech, your freedom of expression in different places.
Interesting. Do you explore like current events and kind of tie those into the law and that kind of thing?
With the current things going on, yes.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, and all grade levels too. So that has to keep you busy, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've taught everything at that school except science.
Well, there's still time, right?
And there's going to be a lot of time. The guy next to me can teach science.
Yeah, there you go. So you're primarily science, David?
I am all science. Yep. This year will be new for me that I get to teach 8th grade science, and so I'm really looking forward to that. Primary, I've just been 9-12. This first year, like I said, since probably pre-student teaching, student teaching, that I get to work with middle school kids. So I'm super kind of excited for that, and kind of a whole new ball game to unlock and see how they do and things like that. But looking really forward to that.
8th grade science. What do you teach 8th grade year?
8th grade year, it's a little bit weird since it's going to still be like basic chemistry kind of stuff and physics. And they, unfortunately, at Ithaca still get that their freshman year. So it's kind of nice that I get to do both, because now I can split it up and I realize what they've taught in 8th grade and in freshman. So we don't have to go over twice as much stuff or like, oh, we've already done that. We kind of get that out of the way, that now I'll be teaching both, and so we can avoid that scenario. And I think it'll be really fun. Lots of hands-on stuff that we can do with labs and things like that to really keep them engaged, and just kind of knowing that, all right, we got essentially 2 years to get through the basic chems and basic physics of stuff, so it'd be nice.
It used to be they would have physical science in 7th grade. I don't know if they still do that or not.
They do. They do like life science in 7th grade now,
Okay.
and then 6th grade is kind of like more the world, astronomy, geology, those types of things in that class. And so they've kind of changed it up a little bit, but it kind of gets back-to-back years, 8th grade and freshman, that now it's more that physical science, the basics of chem and physics.
What's your favorite part of science to teach, David?
I really like human anatomy, that part, and so I get to teach one section of that, and it's really kind of fun to delve into that kind of stuff and just show kids like what avenues there are out there medically wise, whether they're going to go into nursing, doctor, whatever kind of like avenue they want to. And we've had a lot of people go into that, especially recently, and it kind of ties it in. A lot of them get their CNA and do that with a school to work program, and it's kind of cool to see that. And a lot of them come back, oh, we learned all this already in their like CNA classes, and like so it really kind of helps out build that for them.
It's amazing how many graduate anymore with college credits already in tow, right?
Yeah, it's really awesome, and I think that's a really great advantage of Ithaca, is getting that opportunity, having those courses, and getting a lot of those Southwest Tech classes. If a lot of the ones are going there, they have a big jump, and it's all free. Like you don't have to pay for that. You might get a whole semester like paid for already, a whole year, like, and it just kind of jump starts your your career. Like I look at like Brooklyn Granger quite a few years ago. Like she had a lot of her classes already done and just really made it a lot easier for her after high school.
When I was a student, I would always get like nervous stomach about this time of year, like dreading school starting. What about a teacher? Nervous energy?
This
Kyle?
is my favorite time of the year.
Is it?
Yeah, if you're not excited this time of the year, I don't know if you probably should be in it. Every start of this new school year is like it's the same building, but it's completely different every single year. So to me, it's really exciting to get a start with new stuff.
How long have you been with the district?
This is year 11.
That's amazing. What about you, David?
Same. I'm also year 11. Yep.
My goodness, you seem like young guys to me, and here you are. You've been there 11 years, so that's...
Thank you.
You're welcome. Getting back to sports, some changes this year with name, image, and likeness. I don't know if that's such a big deal with Ithaca, but you never know. I mean, that's one of the things you got to be aware of, right, David?
Yeah. You definitely kind of got to take that into aspect of it and everything. And I know, like, we're looking at co-ops and stuff in the future and we're trying to figure out all that stuff. But overall, like, yeah, it's kind of a big part to it.
Mm-hmm. Kyle?
I just don't know, like, I think NIL deals, I don't see that being a huge thing around here, but I guess you never know. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking back a long time ago, a guy by the name of Ben Askren would have made a lot of money off of NIL deals.
He would have.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. There's those rare instances, but I think you also have to be careful and be aware that even if somebody, you can't accept things like if a student, accepts something from a business, that's kind of a no-no too sometimes too. You got to be aware of all those things, don't you?
Yeah, definitely have to be kind of conscientious about it. Like I said, like our small schools, I don't know how big it'll play, but like I'm sure there'll be something, or we'll get. I mean, it's happened kind of locally before where certain schools have kind of been hit by things that they thought were legal, but then actually aren't, and those types of things.
No doubt. You guys coach other sports too, right?
Yeah, I coach wrestling and baseball.
And
too.
baseball. And David?
And girls basketball.
Girls basketball too. Keeps you busy.
Yeah.
Keeps you hopping.
We go right from one to the next usually, sometimes without even a break.
Yeah, but it's awesome because, this is old school because I know it can't happen in every situation, but you've got staff people that are coaching. That's kind of the way you guys probably grew up with coaches that you remember too, right?
Yeah, except for my wrestling coach wasn't a staff member, but the other ones were, yeah.
Right. And so, hopefully can do some recruiting in the halls and things like that too when school starts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, and that's how we've gotten different guys out in different years. Even like last year, like some people that they might have played as like a freshman that came out senior year. And I think that's just kind of that we're in the building, that we get to see them, they have connections with us, and maybe they build that connection just like previous year, and they're like, oh, I'm going to try it. Like I enjoy like his class or whatever, or being around him, or when he coached a different sport, that kind of aspect is huge for us, and all it takes is getting one more player out there.
Yeah, strength in numbers sometimes.
Yeah.
It's getting those bodies out there. Kyle, maybe you could go over the schedule for Ithaca football then after the scrimmage. What do you have up next?
After the scrimmage, we go Riverdale and Wazeeka Seneca are non-conference games.
Okay.
But with the point system now, I don't really think there is such thing as a non-conference because you got to get as many as you can.
Mm-hmm.
So Riverdale's at home, then we go to Seneca, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, so the point system comes into play. You said Bangor was worth more? 4.
Because they're up a division.
Okay. And then otherwise...
It's all 3.5.
Yeah. Were you on staff when they played Southern Door? That was probably before...
That was my first year here. That was on a Saturday. That was one of the coolest games I've ever seen.
I know, and they won, too. Ithaca
won. They won.
And wasn't Southern Door like Division 2 or 3?
No, I think they were 4 or 5.
Okay. I was thinking they were bigger than that. Because years ago, they played Richland Center in a playoff right before state, so maybe they were bigger at one time. But still, that would be more points had you played them today.
Yeah, but that, in my opinion, where there could be a flaw, because just because they're a division higher doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be that much better.
Right.
So, I think there's some really, really good Division 7 teams that might not get to play Division 5 teams that they have maybe before just because they're worth less points and they're a really good program. I think the point system in all reality there's no real solid reason for a good Division 4 or 5 team to play a good Division 6 or 7 team if they don't have to.
And that probably runs into play for athletic directors trying to schedule for years out, because you might have a program, let's say, that's struggling David, and nobody's going to want to play you because it's like, well, I'm not going to get any more points from that.
Right, and that's going to be the aspect that comes down the road because, like, this year and probably next year, everything's kind of already established. But people and teams are going to be looking at, like, okay, we can schedule maybe a Division 5 team that maybe isn't so good, but we get more points if we beat them, or like vice versa, that you're not going to pick up someone that you historically have been playing like a rivalry game because it's not going to benefit you to play down because you're going to lose a point and a half or whatever. And so it'll be interesting to see if that comes into play, which I assume it would. Like, why wouldn't you kind of try to benefit and get an extra point here or there because that might be the cutoff line?
Yeah, most definitely. What are the Bulldogs going to have to do if you're going to be a playoff team again this year, Coach?
Just kind of build on what we had last year. We have a solid offensive line coming back, and we have a couple of solid athletes in the backfield. So just execute the basic things.
Mm-hmm. David?
Just limiting mistakes, and that's kind of always been the big thing, and it's kind of cliche, but like we can't start first and 15 or first and 20, can't turn the ball over, those types of things because those hurt, and like we've seen it game in, game out, that's when we struggle is when we're playing behind the sticks or have turnovers because we know we're a high caliber game. Like even like last year against the Johnson Creek in the playoffs, like we played really well, but just had a few too many mistakes. And if we limit those, we'll be just fine.
Great. Well, good luck as you start the season this weekend, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
It's a rare occasion to have you both in here at the same time. We usually have just one at a time. So good luck. Coach Kyle Kelly, Coach David Klang joining us in this portion of the morning show talking about Ithaca schools.